HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream. With their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more, you can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace.
Hey, can you hear me? We can't hear you, dog. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Aquay, for the support. Good evening. We're just waiting on Doc to put his microphone because we can't hear him. Y'all, I'm gonna be right here in my bed for the whole remainder of the show. I am tired. I'm tired. Not tired, tired.
We're going old school right here. I got my old mic.
Okay.
Now y'all can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right, all right. Oh man, so we had a ball today at SWAC Media Day. Um, I think it was actually what I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah. Some people I didn't get to, I didn't see, but I know they was there. BJ Jones from Inside HBCU Football. Um, AD Sykes was there today. So give a shout out to AD Sykes. We got Zoe up in the building.
Hey, Zoe. We
Of
saw
course,
him today.
seeing bro like Ken and Zoe, Tarante, D. C, Zach from the Blue Bloods. Yes, everybody.
Yeah. So for us, for the coaches interviews, the only two that we didn't get to interview today was Coach Maynor and
Right.
Coach Willie Simmons. But you're interviewing Coach Willie Simmons tomorrow, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So and then we missed out on some player interviews, but what I didn't know is that there was actually like a press room. It was behind us, and that's where they were like asking press related questions in there.
Right.
I didn't know that they had that available. I kind of still like the way we had our little setup. So, um for me, I think that it exceeded my
Good.
expectations. Like I really enjoyed myself. I didn't know that it was going to be this much work. This is my first time doing something like this, but I think that for our first time, you know, we literally do our podcast in our living room. You know what I'm saying? So for us to be able to go from our living room to this type of platform and be able to basically communicate and talk to some of the people that we do shows on and we give our opinion on every single
Yeah.
day, for us to be able to actually meet those people, that was awesome.
And not just to meet the people, to actually know that they actually watch our show, especially my show, with yours too, but equally to watch our show and know who we are, um, and what we all about. Man, that speaks great wonders right there, y'all. So it's something that I would never change. I don't think I would change. Uh,
I will say
so
this, which it was interesting, and I had at least, I want to say, 6 or 7 people, and they were like, "Hey, you're She Loves Thee off of Twitter, aren't you? You that girl that be clapping back, huh?" And so it was kind of like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm She Loves Thee off of Twitter." So I'm guessing, for a lot of people, putting a actual face to somebody or actually having an interaction face to face is different than when you're on Twitter or even just us on YouTube.
right. So I mean, and like I said, it's gonna be the good, the bad, and the downright ugly when it comes to it, because people are watching you, and we just so happen to have um to go live throughout this whole thing and have the interviews live. Now, shout out to the videographer. Shout out to the videographer who helped us out today, especially with the
Aaron,
lighting, and with Aaron. I knew the name sound familiar. It rung a bell. I'm always thinking Austin, but Aaron helped us out immensely with lighting, and taking photos, and just the whole 9 yards. So I give it to I we appreciate him for helping us do that. You know, coming in, and first person I seen was you and Zoe. Like, what's going on? Like, what y'all do? What y'all do today? um, but seeing other folks that we interact with. Um, Shout out to my boys from the Golden Boot podcast, Pooh Bear and Ant. Now, if you want to know somebody that's real petty, Ant is petty.
I didn't get to meet them.
Yeah, they were in the other. They was on the other side in the other room. So
Right.
they were set up with HBCU. No, HBCU goes there. HBCU game day. Inside HBCU sports lab. Um, let's see who else is there. Of course, Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Like everybody, pretty much everybody.
So there
Every
was three, well, we can just like kind of give a layout of what it looked like. Um,
mm-hmm,
so there was the main room, which if you guys looked at the uniforms, that was where ESPN was located, and that's where all of the players and coaches did their main interview on ESPN. But then they also had two large side rooms. And
mm-hmm,
so the side room that he's talking about, it was like all of the major news media or podcasters, they were all in that room. And me and Doc actually got there pretty early to where we could have went over there, but we saw Zach from Blue Bloods,
yeah,
and he mentioned that it's probably a good idea to come over here because it's quiet. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, like it's quiet, so basically you'll be able to do interviews, whereas in that room you're going to have 60, 70 people in that room at one time and everybody's going to be talking. It's going to be hard for you to hear. So I'm glad that we were able to get that. We started off pretty steady with our
yeah.
interview with Coach Dooley. Um,
And he was still the best dressed by
Best dressed
far.
coach in the SWAC.
Best dressed coach.
Gucci bandana. Gucci bandana.
Um, so I didn't get to interview Coach Dooley. I did speak to him, but I didn't get to interview him.
Uh-huh.
Timona got the interview. You got to interview him, and I kind of like what he had to say as far as with the season, with his team and with the season. But it's always going to be, pushback and drawback and everything like that. We did get our interview with Coach T.C. Taylor. I think we were both looking forward to that. That's what I say.
Right. So I will say, like, you do have the opportunity to have several different interviews with coaches and student athletes, but
Mm-hmm.
they're all on a time schedule. So for that, it meant like we basically got a chance to ask 2 or 3 questions, and then you had to like really be ready for the next. So that's one advantage that I can see to having like a sit down interview where you have longer, or even just doing like you're doing the interview with Coach Simmons tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That particular you're getting ready to be able to craft your questions for longer dialogue. Whereas with
Right.
this one, it was kind of like, what 3 questions are you asking? Because they got to go to the next station.
Yeah, it was one of them things. Like it was boom, 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 boom. Like ask 3 questions, move on to the next. Ask 3 questions, move on to the next. And so the unique thing about what we did was because when it got there, she already had her stuff set up, and I was trying to get my stuff set up first. But just for people to understand, Miss Patrice, because she hit me up in a comment earlier, like you knew you could have went to go get some people, get some coaches to interview. I was like, well, I started doing that early while she was setting up, so that way we could get a good time frame for when they could come in. So that's the best. That's really what we was doing. So it was equal footing. Um, I my the good thing about this is that um there's a lot of representation there. It was a lot of representation. And so for us being new to this game and being, podcasters, you been what, 7, 8 months? I've been over a year, being close, over a year. We still learning. We it's like basically it's like a class for
Right.
podcasting.
And we're
And
actually
so
on a faster learning curve than a lot of folks.
right.
We've been able to elevate our platforms. Like you said, I started after the exit of Coach Prime, and basically we've been working our way up, but we've actually pretty much elevated a lot quicker, and our learning curve has been a lot shorter. So I think that we did an amazing job for it being our first time um, going to an event of this magnitude. I definitely think that we left a good impression to let people know that we can basically hang with the big dogs. So moving forward, um, what are your goals for your podcast? Like, what do you want to do to move that needle?
The first thing I want to do, in order for me to move the needle, is basically be myself. And I did get that call today from Mr. Campbell. So I got the call today from Mr. Campbell. I know what I said. Everybody heard what I said, so it ain't no secret. And he was like, "You warned me," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not even worried about it. I'm grown ass man. I got kids that try to roast me every day, but it don't even
Oh,
matter."
I didn't know that there was something that happened.
No, it was just in a sense, but other than that, man, I'm good. But I just try to stay basically myself
Right.
and just be who I can be. Um, and
So I
those order,
definitely
we're
also
not gonna get into what he say because it was a moot point and it really doesn't even matter now.
okay. I want to say like it just also depends. You can fill out and like for instance, our interview with Rob J, if you guys get a chance to go and watch it, that's one of the funner interviews because you know that Rob J, his personality, what he brings to the table, he likes to poke and prod, and he's fun. So we were actually able to let our hair down, if you will, um, when we were talking to Rob J, because we know that his personality dictates for that.
Right.
Um, so as far as like which one was the funnest interview, I'll definitely tag Rob J.
Oh yeah.
The interview that I was most like excited and giddy about was of course Commissioner McClelland. Just
Yes.
because Mr. Ford been hounding us for since the inception of Saturday Night Live. Hey, you need
Hmm.
to ask Dr. McClelland. I said, Mr. Ford or Commissioner McClelland, excuse me, you Mr. Ford. I went ahead and I asked the question. I hope that he goes back. I'm gonna probably clip the commissioner's interview between the two of us and just post it just as like a specific interview. Um,
Hmm.
but I think for us that speaks volumes that we were able to get that live interview and he was engaging with our viewers.
Yes. Yes. It was the thing to the thing about it is that the commissioner of the conference was eager to sit down with two independent podcasters that only been in the game for a year or less, and ask we get to ask him the tough questions because we didn't throw no softball questions out to him, you know.
Oh no, we definitely went guns a blazing with the questions. I mean, because if you think about it, the we hear and have several different conversations. It goes viral literally every other month. We hear about media rights. So to be able to sit down with the SWAC commissioner and
Hmm.
ask him that question, and the fact that he did not duck any type of smoke, he laid it out from point A to point Z so that there's no room for folks to question anything. Like you can probably have a follow-up question if you're weary
Yeah.
about it, but I like the way he presented it. Um I loved his question when he answered why the basketball tournament is in Birmingham.
Now we got a full understanding of
He's
that though.
basically saying like before any fan walks in the door, all the bills are paid and we got a little extra something.
Yeah.
So the fans coming is just extra on the cake. But we as a SWAC conference have to make sure that certain things are paid for. And
Oh, he wasn't missing his words when he said people gotta come out. You have to come out. He did not mince his words whatsoever in that interview. And then I only asked him one question, and it was basically about conference expansion. I basically put it out there like, look, Tennessee State, you know what I'm saying? What's up with that? And he said any team, any school that try to join the Southwestern Athletic Conference,
You got to be able to bring something to the table. He literally said that. He also said, I'm not even worried about the conference where it's stretching from sea to shining sea. And to me, that's a dig to the Big Ten because it's the only conference that goes from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast. But I understood where he came from. It was a little small pettiness in there. It was a little small pettiness because I could tell, I could tell a little bit. But he laid everything out for us, and I couldn't complain about it. I couldn't even say anything bad about it. I'm like, look, he know what he's doing.
Right,
He know what he's
right.
doing.
And for me, it kind of like it solidifies. I've always like whenever the commissioner sit down and talk to him, that was great. I think that was probably our premiere interview was Commissioner McClelland. So what was the favorite? Okay, so what was your favorite interview, the premiere interview that you think, and then as far as like the coaches, which coach did you enjoy interviewing the most?
My favorite interview. I mean, of course, Rob J. By far. My second favorite interview. As far as my second favorite interview, as far as coaches, was T.C. Taylor, and you won't believe this, y'all. Coach Alonzo Hampton for Pine Bluff. That man got energy, and he loves what he does for the school. I think every coach does. They love their school. They love what's how it goes, about. But he had big, he has big love for Pine Bluff. It was let's see, another coach I like, E-Rob. E-Rob was a good coach. He was a good coach to interview. He ain't back down. He ain't duck no smoke.
He did kind of duck a little bit of smoke. When I said when I mentioned homecoming, he was like, "Did I say that? You said it. You said that you wanted to come to Jackson State to play during Jackson State's homecoming." And he was like, "Oh, did I say that?" I said, "Yep, I can quote you. I hope they book us for homecoming."
Yeah,
So
I did, and I told him, "Yeah, you said
he
that."
tried to duck and dodge that one. I was like, don't be trying to duck that one. You said you wanted it, and now you're gonna get your dream. I was impressed with all of the coaches and them being personable. I also think that Alonzo Hampton, Coach Alonzo, from UAPB, that he was absolutely enthusiastic about the team.
Yeah,
He said being placed, at the bottom of the SWAC, he believes in his team. We talked a little bit about his tenures at different big name schools. He coached at
right.
Oregon, coached at South Florida, Florida State, a graduate of ULM. He actually, I'm wondering if he was on the coaching staff when we played them. I wonder if he was on the coaching staff because he was playing
Probably,
under Terry Bowden.
probably so. How
Hey,
you
Mr.
doing, Mr.
Ford.
Ford?
You listen. I saw you two movie stars today. Let me tell you this, Mr. Mona. our 5th grade math teacher. She's from Jackson State. She was a cheerleader. She wants to know, were you at Jackson when was it Casey? Doc, do you know what I'm talking about?
Casey Terrio.
Okay, were you out there then?
So Casey was what, 2009, 2010, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know. She said she thinks she's seen you before.
Right. So I graduated in 2010. So I think his first year was 2000. I want to say I was definitely there because I was right there when right before the coach had gotten fired or he got fired.
Yeah.
Okay, this was
like in the Ronald Mason era.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
So
okay. She said she was a cheerleader. I think she's from Jackson too.
I don't think. You said what now?
She was a cheerleader. I think that guy's senior year, and she told me that she was from Jackson. Because I had we watched it. You know, this was our first day back in school. It was pre-planning, so we watched y'all. We watched. Doc, I thought your best interview was that Adams kid. You had him in the palm of your hand when you told him he was the best linebacker in the SWAC. You got him. He wanted to stay with y'all after that.
Because
Mr. Ford, I truly believe that he is the best linebacker.
I'm surprised he didn't get the defensive player of the year. Who got that?
Mr. Ford, you know we're going to talk about those preseason snubs, right? We're going to go over them. Listen,
the biggest shocker for me is, first of all, Musa got the offensive player of the year. That was a shocker. Then they picked Sam over Jackson.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. we didn't even get a chance. I didn't even get a chance to look at the list or anything like that because we was in the room. And,
right. We were basically on the ground. Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, did you see the SWAC commissioner?
Listen, I enjoyed. He had a interview with Santoria Black and Tolly Carr. I loved it. And he gave the stats. Listen, the SWAC is in a good place, y'all. Now, what we need now, this is what I want to ask you. In your, what do you think? Was it 300 outlets today or 200? What did y'all think?
I wouldn't even know, man.
I didn't know because we were so.
Y'all were all over the place.
No, we were literally in the side room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Setting up and doing. We didn't actually get a chance, but when I tell you it was a packed house.
Right. That's what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know.
So organized. So they did say when we talked to a couple of people, like I asked Blue about, I think he talked about it a little bit when he came into our live at the very beginning of when we started doing lives.
Right.
He did say that it was a lot more organized this year. And then I talked to another person and they were like, last year, Prime, Travis Hunter. So it was like hectic and crazy last year.
Mm-hmm.
And there was probably more media just because of Coach Prime and Travis Hunter being there. But they said this year it was a lot more organized. They had really big rooms, 2 big rooms for people to set up in. And we happened to set up in the room where there was virtually only us, Blue, and 2 other entities that were in that room, which it actually worked out for us because you didn't have a lot of feedback with the talking and stuff like that till probably towards the end.
Well, let me tell you this. Rob J is like, do y'all remember Flip Wilson? Y'all remember?
I know Flip Wilson.
That's Rob J. Rob J is like a celebrity comedian, so you can't be serious as long as he's around. But you know, I enjoyed y'all interview with Rob. I did.
Man, I told him, like, you know, me being a freshman at 17 and I was a mass comm major, and he came in the room and told us what we need to have and what we need to do, and basically just broke everything down for us. And I told him I remember that stuff. So and you know, it didn't fall on, you know, to me it didn't fall on deaf ears. So I was like, hey,
Well, now let me ask you, did y'all talk? Because listen, one of the guys in there represented my childhood. Charlie Neal was on today. Now, you know, I go way back with Charlie Neal now. I've been listening to Charlie Neal, about 40 years. Did y'all talk to him today?
We didn't. I didn't even see. I didn't even know that my guy BJ Jones from Inside HBCU Football was there.
Oh, he was there. I didn't see BJ on any of the thing.
Did you hear us talking to the commissioner, Mr. Ford?
The interview I heard with the commissioner, it was Santoria Black and that guy's name Tolly Carr.
Oh, well, we got an interview with the commissioner.
Well, you know, I'm gonna see it. You're gonna put it on the line, right?
Yeah, you know, we had to ask your question, right?
But listen, this is the only thing I'm saying. I don't have a problem with it staying in Birmingham, but they got to change them brackets. They can't be playing them championship games during the day. All men's championships got to start after 7:00. They cannot play them. You can't have a men's semifinal game at 2:00.
Now,
you can't do that.
Know, Mr. Ford, he is watching this because I think he watched everything.
Oh, I think he does too. But listen, like I said, I like this. I really love the statistics he gave today. Like I said, from what he said today, the SWAC is in a really good place. And see, with what they did today, the season is going to be, it's going to be more exhausting because everybody going after everybody. Because you're going to pick, and I do understand Southern because of the legacy, the school. I know the amount of money they spend. I mean, the amount of money that they spend. Now, you're going to pick FAM over Jackson. Jackson had the number 2 recruiting class in FCS. Okay. You got the best class in all of HBCU football, and you're going to pick FAM over them? Listen, baby, somebody going to get beat to death this year. You watch and see. Somebody gonna get beat to death because they done created a lot of rivalry right there with what they did today. And then I listen. How can you pick Musa over that Howard kid? How can you pick him over that kid from Alcorn?
See, and that's my thing. Like, even though, and that's what I guess, like, they've actually been doing that with the preseason awards.
I didn't get it. I was shocked.
I was shocked too.
I was shocked.
Absolutely shocked.
I was shocked.
FAMU has 10 preseason players.
What Mr. Campbell said? I can't see.
He said, "Stop it."
What he said? What he said?
He said, "Stop it."
Stop. Okay. And Mr. Campbell, by the way, you gonna let Jackson State come in and take Miami? Come on, man. I can't believe y'all did that. Jackson State gonna come in, sign the contract, take Miami from you. That's your home base. All your kids come from Miami. Your football players are from Miami. And you're going to let Jackson come in and take Miami. Come on, man.
Now, I'm going to tell you some more about the interviews. I'm going to tell you more about the interviews with the coaches. Coach Hugh Jackson.
He need to get some more clothes.
Come on.
He make too much money to have on that ugly stuff he had on the day. All that money he making, he going to put on that ugly stuff. And he represent my school.
Well, but
somebody need to hey, Mr. Campbell, you know about Brooks Brothers and what's that, Armani? Them the kind of clothes he's supposed to be wearing. He's making over $300,000 a year. He got a clown suit on for the second year in a row.
We did see Sunday out of Anderson, and
he's a man.
He is as advertised.
He is. He's a man.
I didn't even approach him, Mr. Ford. He was so.
That's right. Now he was the preseason defensive player of the year, right?
I think so.
I think he is too.
I put it up there.
I thought Bubba was gonna be it. I was shocked when Bubba didn't get it.
Let me pull it up.
But to me, I just feel like either. I mean, but you can't go wrong with either one, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, Anderson will probably go pro. I don't know if Bubba's gonna go pro. He might. I don't know, but I know that Anderson kid's gonna go. He's gonna be a pro.
Well, first team all SWAC. You got Jarvion.
Let's talk about each one. So let's talk about this preseason offensive player of the year. Boy, they are talking Musa up, and you know what? This is his breakout season.
Because this
Being
is
a
his
non
last season.
right, but being non-biased, if we're gonna be non-biased and we're gonna talk about Jeremy Musa being preseason offensive player of the year,
I gotta see it.
from
Yeah.
those defensive ends, it's one thing to just be FAMU. Boy, them defensive ends gonna be trying to knock the sonic rings out of you.
Yes,
The
they are.
linebackers,
Yeah, you're right. They
defensive
put a
line.
pulls out on his back.
Yeah, and the thing about this is though too, what I'm looking at is that, like I said, you cannot go wrong with either selection between Sundiata
Right.
and Bubba.
You're right. And Bubba,
So,
yeah, you're right.
but like, you know,
Yeah.
like I told Bubba, I'm like, I like your game because you have an old school, you have that 1970s, 1980s old
does.
school feel. Like,
Yeah.
you're like Mike Singletary.
Yeah. And he
And you
strikes a
know,
lick when he get there too, baby.
yeah, like that's some things that I like. And then with Sundiata is you got the height, you got the reach, you got the speed off the edge, you got the quickness, and you're strong as an ox.
Now what's his size? He's 6'5" or 6'4"?
6'5", 2, I think 250. But I told Blue, I told Mr. Ford, I told Blue because Blue was sitting next to us, right?
Right.
I told him, I said, Blue, he looks 6'6", 6'7". That dude's not 6'5". I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4". Blue has to be Blue like 6'3". And then I'm looking at Ken and Zoe. Ken and Zoe is 6'4" together. And I'm like, dude, that dude is not 6'5". That dude is not. They had to make him in the lab.
Yeah, he's cut, man. That guy's cut, man.
Like, no, literally, he reminds me of what's a defensive end that I like that was successful. That was his size.
What about Greg Ellis? Does he look like Greg Ellis?
Greg with the height, yes, but as far as pure like physical features, he looks like Javon Curse.
Ooh, no. Can he run like that though?
I don't know. I mean, he could probably. I hope he could run like that. But I ain't saying
Javon
that
was
he
sub 4'4" in the 40.
I ain't saying that he can run like Javon Curse, but I'm saying like his physical feature is like Javon Curse.
You know, when he was in college, Spurrier made him run with the wide receivers.
Oh yeah, because
they didn't let him run with the linemen. He had to run with the wide receivers.
What's
I'm getting ready to do a poll.
Get the poll going.
Okay.
Do one too.
Did Jeremy Musa deserve Offensive Player of the Year?
You know how many people gonna answer that, right?
How many?
Everybody should in the chat. Everybody should answer and give their opinion. We got 102 people on this side, and you got about 100 folks on yours. You should do a poll. It take 2 seconds.
I was just shocked today when they announced that. I was shocked.
Hey, Coach Green gave us a big shout out today too.
Oh, he did.
What he was in Birmingham?
He was on in the chat, so he gave us a big shout out. So you know, we got people that look out for us, y'all. And like I said,
I saw Dooley's suit. I saw what is it? What do y'all call that? A ballet suit, right? What's that Dooley had on?
He had Gucci on.
Gucci, yeah.
Gucci.
We saw that. I saw with the ascot and all of that.
Yeah, they had Gucci on.
I didn't call him Ascot Dooley today.
You did? Yeah, that's all right. Didn't he have it on?
I just called him best dressed coach of the SWAC.
Yeah, he was sharp. I saw he was sharp.
So I wanted to talk a little bit before we delve more into these SWAC team, first team offense. I want to commend the SWAC Media Day and for the organization. So basically in the morning, check-in started at 9,
Right.
and we just would basically, we went in, went to the table, gave them our name. They had all of the sheets printed out basically for who is registered, and then you get a media pass.
Right.
I also want to thank them for being flexible because I got approved. Well, both me and Doc got approved last Thursday.
Right. Right.
And so for me, I was like, we definitely need a videographer and a photographer for this particular event, but I had to find one locally.
Right.
I was able to secure a local videographer / photographer for this event, but the credentials part, I wasn't able to finish the process because they were so backed up with having to schedule everything. So they did allow him to come in and represent for us. Breakfast, they had a nice breakfast downstairs.
Yep.
The lunch that they had, I think they had chicken and then barbecue pulled pork, like a house salad, cornbread, coleslaw. I didn't have any of the coleslaw, and then green beans. So the green beans did have bacon in it. And by the time I got there, that's all that was left was the pulled pork. But it did taste good. So they did have like a catered meal for everybody, for the media, the coaches, and the athletes. Delicious meal. And you were able to go in there and eat at your leisure from around 12 to 1:30 or whatever. You were able to go in there. They had tea and water, and so it was really nice. I really enjoyed myself.
Well, let me ask this question. Now, next year, y'all gonna cover the MEAC and the SIAC and the CIAA, right?
Who?
You and
me.
Doc.
You mean like go there?
Yeah.
No, I won't. I won't go to the MEAC.
Why?
If I look at my analytics for who is on my show, 70% of my subscribers are either from Mississippi or like
The SWAC.
the SWAC. So it wouldn't.
I thought somebody named MEAC Mike. He's on that every time you open your mouth. Isn't he on it?
He's one person. We're talking about like to have a base. Like I don't think that I would be able to make impressions because my podcast focuses on SWAC with an emphasis in Jackson State. So I don't think that we have enough support. Now that might change, but as of right now, we really don't have that type of support in the MEAC.
But Doc, I can see you coming to Atlanta, Doc, for the SIAC.
Man, I would. Yeah, you know what? I would come to Atlanta.
Mr. Ford, okay, so me and Doc basically did a fundraiser from, what did we do? Friday, Saturday?
Thursday.
Did we do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Because I started Thursday.
Mr. Ford, we did a fundraiser Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to cover our expenses. It's expensive to travel. Some of these folks, when I figured out what they be doing, I was like, ain't no way. So this is what folks do to save money. They literally drive the day of, and then they go home after. So there was a lot of folks that got up at 5 o'clock this morning, drove here from like Jackson's 3 hours away or Alabama. They literally drove here today, stayed all day, and then after they finished, they went home. So what does that mean? The only thing they paid for was gas.
Okay.
No hotel, no nothing.
Right.
So for me, I had to get first of all, I was like, I don't even want to drive. I don't want to drive. Flights were like almost $400 because I got notice on Thursday.
Right.
And then I was like, I was going to drive. Then when I saw it was like 6.5 hours away, I was like, dang, if I drive, I'm going to be tired. And on top of that, they were charging like $28 to $38 a day for parking. So that's already out the gate. That's expensive. and plus gas. So I went and got on the train.
Oh, okay.
I got on a midnight train to Alabama.
All right. Were you Amtrak? Was it Amtrak? What did you?
Yes, I got on the
Amtrak.
train.
Okay.
And I got on the train because it was gonna cost the same amount that I spent to drive and be tired and pay for parking. It was gonna cost roughly the same.
Right.
I was able to take like my equipment onto the Amtrak. With flying, I don't even know how would I do that with flying, like checking in my big banner that I had. Like, I don't know if
You
saw
got to
that
talk.
banner.
You know who you need to talk to? You need to talk to Ken about that. You know, he be flying it like almost every other weekend.
Yeah, so you got to take all your equipment with you on the plane.
Mr. Ford,
Huh?
I drove 9 hours. We drove 9 hours from Texas, from Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got in like almost 5 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
And I'm burning I was burning it up, y'all. Like,
I know it. That's 20, right? What were you on Interstate 20?
Interstate 20 the whole way
Interstate
through.
20. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
so that's two. So I got 2 nights at the hotel, round trip Amtrak, and then you got to think about eating, and then just incidentals. And I am so grateful for all the supporters of the channel who've invested in me and Doc, because without their financial support, this would not have been possible.
Man.
But places like Atlanta, oh, that's 4 hours. I would do a 4-hour drive.
Now that would be the only one I could do as far as if you go to Atlanta is to fly, because that's a
well,
almost an 11-12 hour drive right there.
Well, they like Atlanta and like your location, they probably have really good deals on plane tickets.
Yeah, because Atlanta is a Delta hub.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
And DFW is straight up American Airlines. You ain't getting past that nowhere soon. And I was looking on for flights and stuff. They have some go out of DFW, but the best one is to go Southwest. Leave out of Love Field.
But I am so grateful for our supporters, because they really came to bat and helped us. But Mr. Ford, going to the MEAC. Now, if the MEAC wasn't in Virginia, because I'm actually in North Carolina. So if they bought it down in North Carolina, I could go there. But it's kind of like, and I am not hating. I'm not throwing no hate. I'm just I'm reporting what was reported to me when I asked someone who went to SWAC Media Day, and I asked them which one was better. They said the SWAC was better.
Oh yeah, I agree. And let me do some hate, Mr. Campbell. I still want to know how y'all gonna let Jackson State run y'all out of Miami. That's the thing named after you, OBC in the Orange Blossom Classic, and y'all gonna leave and give it to Jackson State. Mr. Campbell, give me an excuse for that. How can you do that? I need to hear an excuse. You're gonna give Miami to Jackson State? Come on, Mr. Campbell. What excuse you got now?
Ooh.
Oh man, let's continue this.
So he can explain it.
Yeah, what excuse you got for that? You're gonna let them run you out of Miami?
But it's not a for sure thing yet, right?
I thought y'all signed the contract. Aren't y'all gonna be there the next 3 years?
Here, let's just wait until it comes
Jackson State. Didn't Jackson State sign the contract to be in Miami the next 3 years?
We have signed our contract, but it's not a for sure that FAMU's not going to be there.
Well, fam, the AD said she wants more home games.
Right, but I'm saying, like, until I hear what the other school is actually going to be, it's not confirmed that FAMU's out. So it still could be.
Hey, Mr. Campbell, are y'all out? Mr. Campbell, are y'all out? Are y'all running?
We haven't seen any type of like you remember when the Southern Heritage Classic happened, that the letter came out and it just basically said we'll no longer be continuing with we didn't see a letter. I don't know.
Yeah, they just pulled. They just
So a
took it
couple
out.
people said that it is confirmed.
That FAMU pulled out, right?
I mean, they might. I mean, who knows what? Because if you think about it, who knows? They might increase their offer towards FAMU.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Let's get back to these. Let's get back to this. This
You
list
see what
right here.
what Mr. Campbell said? He's not
What
coming.
did he say?
He's not coming on the chat, but he said,
Okay, read what he said.
the money ain't right. We make money, not lose money. FAMU has not, in quotations, officially checked out. Have you seen FAMU lawyers say that? So once
No, your
again,
AD said it. Your athletic director, doesn't she speak for the athletic department? What's her name? What Tiffany Dawn Sykes, right? Is that right, Doc?
Yeah.
She said it. She pulling them out.
okay, so maybe we'll just wait until after the game till they announce the replacement, because also, you know, which I didn't ask the commissioner, but this would have been a great question to ask, which is, are you guys going to get rid of divisions?
I think they will. I think they will.
If they get rid of divisions,
Oh, that would help out.
I would think that FAMU would be more, because they've been on such a bad losing streak, and basically Jackson State, winning or losing with Jackson State is the determination on whether or not they're able to win in the East, right? So if they don't win against
the thing is, if you get rid of divisions, you guaranteed to have the best two teams in the SWAC championship every year.
right?
See, the last 2 years, the SWAC championship should have been FAMU versus Jackson State. That's the last 2 years. So I think they'll get rid of the division. That will make the championship game more competitive.
I think that would, but also I also think that FAMU would be more receptive to possibly staying in Miami. It's one thing to lose to Jackson State, and if it's just no divisions, you still have a chance to make up for that loss at the SWAC championship. It hasn't been vice versa for over 20 years, but just so that I'm not biased, I'll say it in that way, in that retrospect. If they get rid of divisions, whoever loses in some of these big games, it's not going to determine the rest of the season. Like,
right. That's right. That's right. That's a good thing.
It's the first game for, you know, the regular season. This is going to determine SWAC East right here.
Right.
It usually determines the SWAC champion. The last 2 years, whoever wins the Orange Blossom Classic wins the SWAC.
That is true. Oh man, let's I'm gonna stay on track right here. So Musa they got Musa first team all SWAC. This is just preseason, y'all. So anything can happen when the season comes about.
That's true.
Jarvion Howard from Alcorn, that's one running back who we interviewed him. I like his perspective on everything. Donovan Eaglin from Alabama A&M.
Oh, I like him too.
Another running back.
I like him too. Yeah, big transfer
bruiser
from Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that boy can play.
Then you got Jalen Goss and Cam Colvin. On the
Goss will get a shot at the NFL. Goss gets a shot. I like Colvin too, but Goss will definitely get a shot at the NFL.
Then you got Jonathan Williams from Alabama A&M, Will Reddy from Alcorn, and TJ Yarborough, who round out from Alcorn, who rounds out the offensive lineman selection. And then you have John Murray Sharif from FAMU, Derek Morton, the other wide receiver from Texas.
Wait a minute, wait. You talking about that little boy? Wait a minute. He's first team?
Yeah, they got him. They named
That's not No. Wait a minute. The one they call K-Dot? You talking about that little wide receiver?
Yep.
They got in on somebody like him. No, man. The wide receiver's better than him, man. Now, he's fast. He's your homeboy, isn't he from Texas?
Yeah, he from Texas.
He from Texas. He transferred what? Texas State or where did he come from?
Yeah, Texas State.
Yeah, he's
Texas
like, now don't get me wrong, he can fly, but he's not no first team all SWAC wide receiver now.
And the only person to get any selection from Jackson State is tight end DJ Stevens. And it's well deserved because he's the best tight end that.
Oh yeah, he can play. I've seen him. Yeah, he can play.
I mean, he's literally on the draft boards in the FCS as one of the top tight ends. So you see how heavy it is for FAMU. So the polls that have came out and then these preseason honors. Listen, it is what it is. I do want to make an announcement regarding these preseason awards. If we take a look back at even last season and the season before that, Jackson State has perpetually been underrepresented on these preseason awards. And even at the postseason, it's kind of like, huh? What? But if you can place 10 FAMU players in a preseason award, I want to see if you're able to place that many from the actual team that deserves it. Okay?
Yeah.
They had 10 players on the preseason?
Yep, 10 players.
Yep.
So FAMU better come. When I tell you, FAMU better come with it. Because you really have a mark. Oh, you really have it's an X right there. Like, oh, he's preseason. I'm gonna knock the Sonic rings out of him. He's preseason. I'm gonna knock the Sonic rings out of him. Oh, he's supposed to be preseason defense. I'm gonna juke him and break his ankles. Like, it's not. It's cool. It's cool. It is what it is.
So Doc, you didn't read the defense yet, did you? You just read the offense,
No, I'm
right?
about to read it now. Y'all just read the offense.
Okay.
That's first team, y'all. First team offense.
Okay.
So first team defense, Malachi Bailey from Alcorn. Saw him today. We didn't get a chance to interview him. Yeah, bad boy. He a big dude too. Boy. Not as tall, but he's a big dude. Sonny Anderson from Grambling. We already told y'all the man looked like he was made in a lab.
He's a pro.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Taj Brown from Southern. I got to check out.
I remember him. I remember him last year. He was tough. I remember him.
And Zarion Hayes from Alabama.
Yeah, he's tough too.
He was there. Yeah, he was at Media Day too.
He's from what's that school? Appalachian State.
Yeah, went to Appalachian State.
Yeah, he's tough, man.
Linebackers is Bubba Adams from Alabama State.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, that kid, he gonna be something, like, for real. I'm telling y'all.
Oh yeah.
Like, Lewis Matthews from Grambling, he was here.
He can play. He can play too. Yeah, I know him.
SWAC Media Day. So and Isaiah Major, and I think that's
Isaiah's tough.
I would have said Isaiah Major, other than Javon Morgan from FAMU, but hey, you can't go wrong with either one.
What position is Javon Morgan?
Javon Morgan is either a corner or safety, but I know he played defense.
What's it? That's not the kid from Texas A&M, is it?
No, you thinking of what's his name? But
kid came in last year from Texas A&M for safety.
Jordan Moore.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Then Amari Hill Robinson from Thune-Cookman, he was here today.
He can play. I've seen him. Yeah. He can play.
Yeah. Javon Morgan from FAMU, he was here today.
What's his name? Oh, Javon Morgan. Okay.
Jordan Carter from Southern, and that's the transfer from Bowie State, y'all.
Yeah, he can play too. I've seen him. I saw him at Bowie.
Yeah. Let's go down again. Go down.
Okay.
And then Kendall Bowler from FAMU.
Oh yeah, I saw him last year. He was tough. He came on about the last 6 games of the season. He had a brother last year. Yeah. The brother was shorter. The brother was named BJ.
BJ, yeah.
That's right. That boy came on. Kendall really came on at the end of the season last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you got for place kicker, first team specialist place kicker Joshua Griffin from Southern. Jimmy Isles from Grambling is the punter. Return specialist Darnell Dees from Bethune-Cookman, who's good too. And long snapper is Jason Longcourt from Alcorn State. Now, we did get a chance to talk to Coach Fred. I did. We interviewed Coach
Yeah,
Fred
I saw
McNair.
you. I saw you. I did. I saw you. I saw that.
We asked, asked he addressed the issues at special teams, and he went ahead and said he did that. So that's a good thing right there. Second team offense, all SWAC. Number one, Andrew Body from Texas Southern. Great kid right there, y'all. Great kid.
He was movie star looking today.
Hey,
yeah, we got
to looking today.
We got to interview. We had a chance to interview Andrew Body, and
I saw it. Somebody else. I saw him with the shades on and looking like he's supposed to be in Hollywood. I saw him. Yeah.
His teammate, Ja'Cory Howard, the running back, big guy, bowling ball, 6'1", 230. Yeah. The other running back, Ahmad Antoine from Prairie View.
Yeah, he was there today. He was there.
We had interviewed both of him.
Yeah.
Good kids right there. Eli Fields from Southern, offensive lineman. Arrington Taylor from Prairie View. Ryan Atkins Frazier from Pine Bluff. Robert Alston from Alabama State. And Matty Torrance from Texas Southern. They round out the offensive lineman. Lyndon Rash from Grambling State.
He got robbed. Rash got robbed. He got robbed.
Marcus Riley for FAMU, who's the other receiver, and then tight end.
That's a kid from Bethune-Cookman.
And then the tight end is Kamari Young from FAMU.
Yeah, he's tough. I think he's from Tallahassee. He went to one of them local high schools.
Second team all defense, Kelby Givens from Southern. On one D lineman, Michael Atkins from Texas Southern, Kendarius Clark from Pine Bluff, and Gentle Hunt for FAMU. I would have said move Gentle up, but
I like Gentle too. He had a really outstanding freshman year.
Right. Linebacker is Jalen Carter from Southern, Rico Dozier from Pine Bluff, and the last linebacker is Terrence Ellis from Alcorn, which is, that's saying. And it's crazy because Pine Bluff got more representation than Jackson State on here, but we ain't gonna say nothing about that. So the DBs, one on one side, one on the other side. Adrian Maddox from Bama State on one side, Kel Jackson Jr. from Bama State on the other side. I call them the no-fly zone. That's what they are. Kevin Thomas from Grambling State and Kristen Davis from Southern rounds up the DBs. And then your specialists, who we got for specialists for second team.
Oh, you want me to pull it down a little bit more?
Yeah, pull it down a little bit.
All right.
So Anthony Turnage, who's place kicker from Mississippi Valley. The punter is Robins Beauplain from Southern. Return specialist Sean Xavier Lewis from Texas Southern, he's good right there. And long snapper Braxton Blackwell from Southern University. So out of everybody on here, FAMU did have the most representation. They disrespected Jackson State because they feel like everybody left out, but they just, what TC say?
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. So
the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah, they don't know.
You'll never find out. So they about to find out.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to see that. It's crazy to see that the representation that we got on here was non-existent.
Right.
So
But you got how many ESPN games you got? You
we
got
got
about
all
7.
of them.
That's what I
All
thought.
of
We got all of them.
All the
all of
ESPN games. But that was a
You
good
got
schedule. They showed HBCU gold schedule. It was good too. It was a
Yeah.
good schedule.
I'm gonna pull
I
that up. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
pull
talked
that
that
up.
to
just speaks to it. Like,
I talked to a representative. Me and Ken, we talked to a representative for HBCU Go. We told her that we love the production. We just
Oh
want
yeah,
more,
yeah, they do a good job.
get one more game to go, you know what I'm saying, to go along with it.
I
That's what
think they're
we,
doing 5 homecomings, right? How many homecomings they do? They're doing about 5 homecomings.
I got to see that schedule there.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
got about
pull that
5 home. I know they got Alabama State is hosting Tuskegee. They got that homecoming, and I know they got about 5 homecomings.
ESPN said we want all the games.
So Jackson's on every week.
ESPN Plus for the majority of them, but
Yeah, that's what I
basically
thought.
we don't actually get an opportunity to be on HBCU Go platform, which
Right,
I
that's
absolutely
secondary.
love
Yeah,
the HBCU platform,
We told
HBCU
them
Go
we love it.
platform,
yeah.
but we didn't have an opportunity to get on there. But we also are on every last one of them. They picked up every last one. Can you pull that up?
You know who got me, y'all? We did an interview, and he reminds me of TC, Coach Wade. Coach Wade.
He's got a game that's televised by HBCU Go First, right? He's got Central State in Chicago.
Yeah, the Chicago State, the Chicago.
Yeah, so we'll see them early.
Mm-hmm. So can you make it bigger?
Yep, I got you.
And then just quickly, I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Anderson, Miss Amber, and Mr. Ronnie Jackson for your donations. Thank you so much. They are greatly appreciated. The powerhouse in Jackson State has not stopped.
No, it ain't.
People can leave, and when I say leave, I mean like the exit of our former coach, and they just thought that everything was going to return back to normal. But like you pointed out, logically, Mr. Ford, having the #1 class in HBCU with transferring, and then also realizing that each team, with the exception of probably Alcorn and Grambling, bought in more than 40 players.
Oh yeah.
So Jackson State bought in about 65. I think that our coach Wade said he bought in about 60. Alonzo Hampton bought in about more than 50. As with Coach Woody, he bought in more than 50.
Hey, did y'all meet him? Did y'all meet Coach Woody?
Yeah, we
got
did
his
an
interview too.
Yeah, he seemed to be. I watched him. I don't know if it was yours or somebody's interview. He seemed to be a football man. He seemed to be very smart too.
You know that he was one of the #1 recruits in one of those FBS divisions.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was. I have to look up the exact one because I don't know which conference he was in, but he was dubbed like 2000. I think I want to say in one of those years he was dubbed like the #1 recruiter for the FBS. So I didn't think that he would have an issue recruiting.
Right.
For Bethune-Cookman, and then it's a beach.
Oh yeah, I've been to Daytona Beach. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I would be highlighting the fact that you literally live off of a beach. Yeah,
it's gorgeous, and the campus is not that far from the beach. It's 26 miles of beach.
Man, what you mean?
Yeah, it's 26 miles of beach. I've been to Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask, how long y'all think it's going to take him to turn around Bethune? Because, see, I remember just a few years ago, Bethune was kicking behind under that, what that man was named, Jenkins? They were beating up people.
Probably like 2 years. I
Probably
say give
about
him
2
2
years.
years. I say give him 2 years.
Yeah. And then, there's like for Eddie Robinson, he kind of said that he wanted to be, he's always going for the SWAC championship. But for his first year, he did pretty good.
Yeah. And especially without having an offense. He had no offense last year.
Right. I commend all of the coaches, at SWAC Media Day, but I still believe, and it's not with delusion, it's with just using common sense, that the main theme of why Jackson State was winning as an excuse of others was that we out-talented the SWAC.
Now that's true. That was true, right? That's true.
I mean, if that's the excuses, that we out-talented the SWAC based on the numbers alone, and then
no, look at the people y'all put in the pros. Y'all did have more talent than everybody.
But
look at the people you had.
Can we talk about the pros or the pros that were already on the roster?
Wait a minute now. These last 3 years now, y'all brought in some big time players.
No, I'm talking about the ones that actually went to postseason or like went to the professional leagues. There's a couple of them that we can name, and Dalen Baldwin is one of them.
Yeah. I remember that.
Already
that's
there.
a kid from Morgan State, right?
Yep.
No,
is it? Yeah, he went to Morgan State,
and then he went to Michigan or something. Michigan, yeah.
He went to Michigan.
He was from Detroit, wasn't he? Where was he from?
No, he's from that Michigan area.
Michigan, okay.
But when time came in, there was like there was some, kind of like the way it was explained was his scholarship was cut or something like that. But
who was that? Baldwin?
Yeah, there was something that happened with his scholarship with regards to whether or not he'd be returning, and so then he just decided to leave altogether. But Dalen Baldwin,
I thought he was going back home. I thought the reason he left was he was going back home.
No, I think the reason why the reason why he got a scholarship cut was because he had already graduated, and I think Prime needed to use that scholarship for somebody else, and he didn't want to give him a half scholarship.
Like probably trying to give him a half because he wanted to make room for his players. Mm-hmm. And so Dalen didn't like that. But basically what I'm saying is Dalen is in the NFL right now.
Who's he with? Cleveland? Is that
Cleveland?
And Cleveland. They just came out with an article that he's taking first team reps.
Oh, he is?
Yep. They just came out with that article that he's taking first team reps.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Holmes, he plays for the Guardians.
Yeah, or the XFL.
XFL Guardians. CJ Holmes was, and Warren Newman plays for
the New Jersey Generals for the USFL.
Right.
CJ Holmes was already at Jackson State. Warren Newman was already at
Jackson State. Yeah.
So
Keith, I'm about to say Keith Corbin, but he transferred in that first year with Prime. So
what was his name? What was his name again?
Keith Corbin.
I remember. Now, what position?
Wide receiver.
And he was from where?
My point is that there was some diamonds in the rough that was already on the team and the squad. They just needed.
Yeah, that were. But Mr. Mona, listen. We got to. I'm going to admit now, y'all. Listen. Them last 2 years, y'all had better talent than everybody in the SWAC. And a lot of them boys came in with Dion, and nobody else could deal with them. Nobody could deal with that talent y'all had. Y'all had more talent than everybody.
And we still do.
Yeah, you still do. That's true.
There were some 4 stars that didn't even get that much reps, and they're still on the team. And you're gonna FOAFO. I can't say what that stands for, but y'all know what it is. Y'all gonna find out. they're still on the team, and then just we added to it, like still got 4 stars on our defensive line.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Still got 4 stars in our wide receiver room.
Right.
Best quarterback room in the SWAC. So it for us, preseason doesn't matter. All those Jackson State players that if you feel like you were snubbed or you feel like you didn't get your just due, all you got to do is hold up. They haven't gotten their second set of rings, for the SWAC championship, but just hold your rings up.
Oh yeah.
At least they're not
Just
class
hold your
rings
rings
like Trey
Like
Oliver
Howard.
told Howard.
Like them Bisons, baby. Like them
He said them
Bisons.
he said those class rings. Boy,
The class rings.
I still can't get
Yeah.
past that, y'all. I'm
Hey Doc, they love you over there in DC, man. You know they'll love you in SWAC country.
Man,
They love
they don't
you over
want,
there.
nah, they don't want us in DC. Shoot, they. Mm-mm.
They love you in DC, man.
You do wrong, boy. Just because I'm a Cowboys fan, and we already know how our standards are way high.
Yeah.
You mess up, boy. We coming after you full steam ahead.
Hey.
But
what do you think about the order of finishes?
You can flip flop either one. It don't, like, to me with the East. It's all, like I said, it's always gonna come down. It's gonna come down between FAMU and Jackson State. Now, this is where FAMU might have that slip up at. If they go to Alabama, they have Alabama State coming to them,
Right.
to brag.
Yeah, they coming to brag.
And like I said, I talked to Bubba. He remembered that. He's like, look, we got to go down there. We got to do what they did to us. And we got to be more efficient with the offense instead, because
if they can get some offensive help, it could be really good.
So, and then too, like Juwan said in the interview, Demetrius Davis was a freshman because he was like a true freshman. He didn't play a snap when he was at Auburn.
Right.
So he was coming in like fresh leg and everything. So he was learning, like he was literally learning on the fly. But
did you ask Eddie about that new offense coordinator, the Blues guy from? I didn't get the guy from Pike County.
I didn't get a chance to.
Right.
I was, we had asked him. I pretty much asked him about the offense, like, what can he do to get the offense improved? But they, like it's going to starting point is always going to be Demetrius Davis. But like I said, you can flip flop Jackson State, FAMU from 1 and 2 in the East. It's always going to be when Bama State go down to Bragg to play Florida A&M.
And that's early. That's early.
And it's early. Plus, also Bama State coming to Jackson.
That's in October, right?
That's in October 14th for our homecoming. So it always depends on that. Plus what he does in the Magic City Classic. And I think he'll probably win that again because I don't see Maynard having a stronghold on that Classic anymore. Not now. Until, like you said, he gets a quarterback.
One of your guys said, what Kappa man, he told you the other night, he got that kid from Georgia State. If that's going to be his quarterback,
Brown.
Doc, he can play. I've seen him. He was at Georgia State. He started 2 years, I think, at Georgia State.
So the only question that I have is, Florida A&M has 10 preseason players, and Truth Bearer in the comments, he actually kind of piqued my interest. So how does Florida A&M have 116 points? Jackson State has 94 points. So we're predicted to place second in the SWAC East, but we only have one player that's worthy of being a preseason player. How?
That's the media,
Well,
baby.
because not really, because when it comes to the polls, when it comes to like just the voting on who's gonna number one through 6 or whatever, it's not really about the. I mean, part of it's going to be about the players, but it's just what the media thinks. And those, having 16 first place votes, and then you got to kind of put in the mathematics of how much one first place vote is. That's the reason why you see the 116 for FAMU, and then you see Jackson with 94 points, but two first place votes. So but I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all pick y'all gonna. I don't care if you think I'm crazy. I don't care you think, well, they just who they are. Valley gonna sneak up on some people. They
I said it.
they got when Coach Wade said they got a full allotment of scholarships,
Yeah.
meaning where they working with 63 like a real FCS team. They got the depth. Yeah, I don't see somebody gonna get caught slipping. Seriously.
I do want to think. I think that a lot of teams, which that means they saw that Jackson State had depth, and in a couple of interviews that we did, even Andrew Body, he talked about the coaches, because I asked him basically, do I think that his coaches were able to get him a offense that is going to be good for him, and did they add those key pieces that he needs to be successful? And a lot of players and a couple of coaches talked about adding that depth. So I think that they looked at Coach Prime's model as far as how he did it, which Coach Prime, he got the veterans in there when he was recruiting, and then he went and got the skilled players, and he missed out on the offensive linemen the first year. We saw that.
Yeah.
But the thing that he had the most was depth. So for me, it will be interesting to see how the SWAC plays out this season, because these coaches are saying that they added depth to their roster. So, that means that we're not just competing because Jackson State was winning out with depth, and they're claiming that they went and got that depth. So what else is it if we're having a depth competition and you guys are stating we went out and got it? So now what is it that's going to, if you're leveling that playing field, what advantage does Jackson State have? So for us, we had the talent, and we had the depth, and we had the strength and conditioning. And then, of course, you had the coaching, which some people claim that we didn't do that well with the coaching. But for me,
just the offensive line. Offensive line was poor. Last 2 years, offensive line coaching was very poor.
So
but that second offensive line was great. But that he wasn't good. That offensive line coach wasn't good.
All right, pull up the West.
Okay. And so for me, I feel like the keys that we had last year to beat the SWAC, which was talent, depth, coaching, and I feel like we have done a great job of replicating and extending that particular formula. I think that we've replicated it this year. So
I think you're better than you were last year.
Right, but that's what I
think you're better. Yeah.
Coach T.C. Taylor was on the roster, so he was able to see what needed to be fixed. And I feel like we did that. So now that's why I feel like we're going to be so dominant this season.
Yeah.
All right. So we got in the West, we got Southern. They got Southern picking to be number 1 in the West, followed by Alcorn at 2, Texas Southern at 3, Grambling at 4. 5 is Prairie View. They picked Prairie View at 6. They got Pine Bluff.
Wait a minute. They picked Prairie View at 6?
At 5.
That's awful. That's
So
awesome.
I got so much stuff to say about the West.
Yeah, that's
Because
awesome.
the East, like I said, the East you can flip flop. Like Jack State could be number one, FAMU could be number one, but it's always going to be settled at the beginning of the season. So that's one thing. Now this West right here, I call it this cluster. I ain't gonna say the word, but for you to disrespect Prairie View like that, and they
Yeah,
damn near return almost everybody on their team. The only thing that you feel people said that kind of held them back was the quarterback.
right.
The quarterback, they feel like the quarterback held them back, but they returned everybody on this team. Grambling being at number 4, it makes sense. You could put Grambling at 5. Now, my whole thing is Southern. What are you going to do? Because first of all, you don't know who you know who your quarterback is. It's Harold Blood.
Right. For
It's
now.
Harold Blood.
For now. Yeah.
Because if Blood don't get it done, or if Dooley stays being, you know what I'm saying, like inconsistent, then you won't have a good season. Your season's going to be terrible. Because who do you have that is a more capable backup to you?
I think they're going to be run first, though. And we didn't get.
I mean, they always going to be, but they always going to be run first.
We didn't get to ask Coach Dooley, but he added Gary Quarles, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Mona. Huh? When has a Dooley's team been run first? That's not happening. They will feature the run, but Dooley believe in the vertical air game. He gonna always throw that ball downfield. That's him. He don't know no other way.
Like, when Dooley was the offensive coordinator for Prairie View, and he was the offensive coordinator for Grambling, he always utilized the pass.
Yeah,
but
he's pass first.
But he also had QBs that was interchangeable.
Right. Where his QBs could run and throw. That's when he's at his best. When he got that Devontae Kincaid, a kid that can drop back, and if ain't nothing there, the play breaks down, he takes off. That's when Dooley's at his best. He shines with them kind of kids.
Yeah, like when he was at Prairie View, he had Jalen Morton.
Oh, and didn't Morton go pro?
I don't know if he went pro.
I thought he went pro. I thought he went to the NFL somewhere. But Jalen was tough. He was a tough guy.
Yeah, when you got a Jalen Morton as your QB, oh my God. You talking about a kid that was big, he had to be about 6'3", 6'4", 225, 230, and had an arm, and he was athletic.
And he was an engineering major.
He's an engineer.
Engineering major.
But the thing about it is you were so inconsistent as a team. You could have finished with probably like 8-9 wins one season.
Henry Miller and them couldn't stop nobody. The defense couldn't stop nobody.
Alcorn being at number 2, I would move them to 3. I would move Prairie View to number 1. I will put Texas Southern at number 2. I will put Alcorn at 3. I will have Southern at 4, Grambling at 5, and Pine Bluff stays at 6. But having Southern to win the West, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't want nobody to get upset, but this is just my opinion.
It's just an opinion. It's just an opinion.
I don't see Southern getting out of the West. I don't even see them winning 6 games this season.
Oh,
I don't. I'm being real honest with y'all. I don't see it.
You ready for Dooley to be run out of Baton Rouge here, right?
I'm not
You
saying
ready
I
for
don't
him to
want
be?
you. You know me, Mr. Ford. I don't
You
like to
want him
see
to?
nobody get fired.
Listen, he know he better win more. Dooley got to win 9 games, man. Dooley got to win 9 games this year.
9
He
games.
got to win at least 9. With what he did last year, messed up all that talent he had last year, he better win 9 games.
Oh,
He better
Lord.
win 9 games, or he got to move in with his frat brother.
So I wanted to share this quickly as a segue. You know, I got a little bit of flack from my live the other day about AD Ashley Robinson
Mm-hmm.
from people, which I personally, here's how I feel about the situation, just as a segue. I did not do a live the first time it was announced. I kind of like you just let something roll off your back. I didn't say anything. I didn't do a show on it. Doc, you did a small show on it and just talked about what was said, but it wasn't anything substantial. So yesterday, when the news broke through the tweet that dropped in our lap, you know, I was like, oh, okay. So this is Blake Levine, and he's like a news reporter for WJTV sports director. So he does stuff for like Jackson State Hill or all the SWAC schools in Mississippi. Can you mute Mr. Ford's his typing
Uh-oh.
phone?
Hold on.
And I'm not the Wendy Williams of the SWAC. I'm not that type of girl. But once I got this information, I did go live yesterday just to talk about it a little bit, and I did get some flack from that. So I just wanted to quickly read Blake Levine, and he's a news reporter as well. So it says, I've been told by numerous sources the deal offered by Prairie View to JSU's athletic director, Ashley Robinson, is substantial. I haven't been told the deal is done or he is for sure leaving. So to end that, I do want for us to just be cautious, like negating sometimes or talking down on HBCU news outlets to a certain extent, maybe, because it's kind of like, okay, so because this person said it, then I'm gonna believe it. But if somebody else says it, I'm not gonna believe it. So that's all. Because I was getting a little bit of flack back from that. So it looks like I just wanted to make that announcement. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Doc, proceed.
So as with that being said, with that being said, I'm not gonna speak on that until it's truly comes out that
Signed on the dotted line.
right. Jay Boone, I'm gonna need you to stand by. That's all I can tell you, stand by. So we're not gonna, my whole thing, I ain't gonna rush to judgment, and I'm not, because I didn't on the last time. I kind of just said
you just kind of touched over it a little bit.
Yeah, I just touched over it. And nobody didn't say anything. I didn't say anything bad or do anything wrong. But it, like we said, this is what I see. If he leaves, we wish him well.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
it. That's it. He, hopefully that the university, if that happens, if that is the case, they find somebody that is equal, or a little bit better than Ashley Robinson. But I don't, in the sense of finding an AD, if this happens, finding an AD as innovative as A.D. Robertson, I don't think you can actually do that. It's crazy. But like you said, if it happens, if it is true, if his name is signed on the dotted line, the ink is still wet. What can we say? What can we say?
Yep. I just thought I'd share that. So moving forward,
So
onward and upward. We have less than 30 days till week 0. MEAC SWAC challenge.
Yep. I just feel like with the MEAC with South Carolina State, if Corey Fields is a train wreck like last season, the game is over. But if he's like what you saw in the Celebration Bowl, then it's going to be it's going to be an issue, but it's going to be a game. All right. So you want him to be that train wreck that you saw in 22 and not what you saw at the Celebration Bowl of 21.
Right.
Also when it comes down to it, I want to see, y'all already know, if you watch the interview, Coach T.C. ain't giving up who his starting quarterback is. But I feel like, in my reality, it's going to be Jason Brown. And I know it's going to be Jason. I feel like it's going to be Jason Brown. Unless he just give us a surprise and swerve all of us.
Fact.
But like I said, if it ain't nothing happening, let's just leave it up. If it ain't nothing happening, let's just leave it alone. Let's not assume that Jackson State is raising salaries or anything like that. Let's the school handle its issue with that, and we'll come out better than ever. I did, like I said, we did tell them about the, first games for majority of the schools this season. Of course, first game of the season, MEAC SWAC Challenge. Second games of the season,
Blue Blossom Classic.
Yeah, the Blue Blossom Classic. The Labor Day Classic with Alabama State and Southern. The other Labor Day Classic, Texas Southern Prairie View.
Yes.
So you got some games in the beginning. Chicago Classic, Valley and Central State.
It's gonna be a hectic week 1.
Yeah, so like I said, you'll see who's gonna be coming out on top and what type of football you're gonna see. So
I thought it was interesting that all of the coaches would not, with the exception of FAMU, all of the other coaches would not announce who QB1 is. I noticed that everybody said that, fall camp is starting and we'll name our quarterback at a later time. I do think that Coach Dooley said that Harold Blood is a front runner, but they still have fall camp. Like everybody else deferred that question and was kind of like,
Hugh Jackson deferred that question so fast. Coach Jackson, he deferred that question so fast when I told him, hey, you got Miles Crowder that transferred in. You got Julian Calvez, who was who pretty much started half of the season, played in some mop-up duty. but became started later down the line. He's like, it's a QB battle. He ain't trying to give her no sources. We didn't even ask about Coach Woody's QB situation. I don't know who's the QB
He
there.
just got a commit 2 days ago. I didn't
Yeah.
have he had came so fast that I was trying to look up the name of the quarterback, but I didn't want to like have him waiting. But he literally just got a quarterback 2 days ago. And
Right.
like Coach Alonso said, we're still adding players to the roster as we speak. Fall camp.
That man said, I got players calling in right now.
He said,
Coming
I'm
in
looking at my phone waiting
right
till we
now.
see that one drop. That's gonna be a great interview for
Man.
everybody to see.
Because I even asked about his coaching situation.
He said the QB room is stacked like pancakes, stacked like library books. This is HBCU band talk. He's giving us an inside of the QB room at Bethune, and he said that it's stacked.
I think for Valley, you see who the starter's going to be. Just Jamari Jones. I think he's the front runner for starting QB for FAMU. Not FAMU, but
Man,
Valley.
quarterbacks. How do you even have 10
Well,
quarterbacks
some
on
you
your
take
roster?
some and then you redshirt the rest of them, or if they're athletes, you switch positions. Of course, Trayvon Conley is going to be started for Prairie View. I don't see anybody try to beat him out. Coach McDowell already said that Trayvon is the man. He's taking responsibility of the team. He put the team on his shoulders, so he just has to go out there and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
We already know Andrew Body is QB1 for
Right.
Texas Southern. That
Yeah, that's kind of like irrefutable.
is irrefutable now. Blue did tell us though. He like it's the kid from Furman that transferred in. Anything kind of just anything happened that he has it's a capable backup. Right there. But um like I said, because Texas Southern, definite quarterback. You know who the definite quarterback is. Prairie View, same thing, definite quarterback. FAMU, definite quarterback. Who else we missing? That's
For Alabama State, I think they said
Alabama State.
Demetrius Davis, like the player that we interviewed, he did point out that Demetrius Davis was a freshman. It was his freshman year as the head as being a QB. So we'll definitely see is he able to progress from freshman year to sophomore year.
Right.
Oh, so for SWAC Media Day, do you think that it should be just one day?
I think it could be 2 days.
I think that it should be 2 days. I also think they should have like a media mixer the night before. Like from 6 to 10 or something like that, a media mixer, so that other journalists, podcasters are kind of like a new thing, but just the media is able, and when I say media, I mean like SWAC Media, HBCU Media, or just anybody that they're able to mix with each other and talk, because SWAC Media Day is all about business. So kind of have the ability to interact with others, schedule, joint, if whether you want to get on somebody else's podcast or if you want to just build relationships with other media. Like I feel like a mixer the night before is definitely something that's a really good opportunity for them to be able to maybe just expand SWAC media a little bit better, you know?
Right.
You have any other things that they should do?
Well, I like. I think they should just they can announce a little bit better when the teams are get ready to go on stage.
Okay.
Because when I stepped out, I think when you were still either setting up or you were still doing the live, I kind of eavesdropped in on Miss Tiffany Green for ESPN, and then telling like, oh, it's this person, this school coming up after this, and then Jay Walker is going to get this school, where it could just be like once you go to commercial break, just just go ahead and tell it like, all right, we need such coming to the podium.
Right. I think that's why they really hone in on that schedule that they give us. But I do think like reminders are great, or maybe even a speaker, not only in the main room, but possibly adding a speaker to the other rooms just to give that heads up. That is definitely a great idea. Because your time can definitely get away from you. I like the fact that they had the rooms. It was enough space for anybody to participate. And I like our room. I thought that was good because we're
Right.
able to catch our interviews with not too much feedback, with a lot of people talking. So I was definitely excited about that.
I want to address this before we kind of wrap this up. Let's not jump to conclusions until the ink is dry on a paper, on a contract. Let's leave it as it is. That's all I got to say on that. Just leave it as it is. Fun.
Did you?
Funny.
There was a lot of teams that didn't bring their AD.
Most of them brought their SIDs, so
because I didn't see Tiffany Sykes. Was
she was there? Yeah,
She
was there.
was?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I wasn't looking hard enough.
Yeah,
here's another thing. And this is no diss to anybody. It's not a diss. Do people in the chat, can you guys name the AD for Alcorn, the AD for UAPB, and the AD for Alabama A&M? Outside of you actually being a alum from that particular school, can you name those ADs? Do you even know what they look like, those particular ADs? And that is absolutely not a diss at those ADs. It's just the level of awareness for Ashley Robinson and who he is, or the level of awareness for Miss Tiffany, the level of awareness for Hakeem McClelland. Those are the three ADs that I know off of the top of my hand. Yes, Reggie Theus. And we've came to know about like Reggie Theus and who he was. I came to know about him, but I came to know who he was as an AD. Dealing with everything circulating with Bethune-Cookman, I became aware of who Reggie Theus was. The departure of Gaucher and the hiring of a female AD at FAMU, I came to know who Miss Tiffany was. Hakeem McClelland working underneath Ashley Robinson, and then him going to Valley and his imprint and the stuff that he's been doing in Valley, I came to know about that AD. But the other ones, do we know who they are?
Jason Cable from Alabama State. progressive, invigorating mind. You have Dr. Travion Scott, Grambling. Another progressive mind for as an athletic director. And really, this to me, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's pretty much all I know. Now I knew the SID for Grambling because when Grambling came to Dallas last year for the State Fair Classic, and Paul Bryant. I forgot Paul Bryant for Alabama A&M. Real good progressive athletic director. So I was saying the SID for Grambling, I saw him because he came to my shop when they were staying in the hotel that's in front of the mall. And so we chit chat and I told him about the show, and then I come in today and he's like, yeah, I seen you, I remember you, like, and we just chit chat for a second. I was like, hey, look, I'm just trying to get you know what I'm saying, get the interview with Coach Hugh, and we got that all set up and he's cool. I think the SID for Pine Bluff was like, look, y'all need to come down to southeast Arkansas, like for real. He's like, don't matter, we'll take care of you. I was like,
And so right, so that I was just pointing that out to say that for the most part, like SIDs and ADs, unless you are just tuned into your athletic departments and or tuned into other people's athletic departments, you're not going to really know who exactly those people are behind the scenes that make things work. That might be that, like, so what I'm saying is they make a hoopla out of everything. Jackson State janitor's leaving. Jackson State's janitor's leaving. The locker rooms and the bathrooms not going to be clean. Jackson State security leaving and going to Colorado. You don't even know who the security, what their name is, what their background is, how long they've been a security guard. But basically what I'm saying is when somebody exits out of Jackson State, all of a sudden everybody's, oh my gosh, he left. It's like, it's really y'all emphasize when someone leaves Jackson State, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It could be a personal choice. They're choosing to move on to, maybe their family. It's something that's better for their family. That's all.
Yeah, but like I said, we don't. I don't want to rush to judgment or anything like that until it actually happens. Now, I got something funny to say. I got something funny to tell y'all. Did y'all know during Pac-12 Media Day, which was, I think it was yesterday, I think it was yesterday or something like that, but they picked Colorado to be second to last in the Pac-12. Second to last, meaning like don't go past go, don't collect $200, go to jail type.
Wow.
Like literally, they said Shador gonna do good, but other than that, it's they say he's gonna second to last. But that was kind of interesting. I want to see what happens this season with that. First of all, and another thing, like I said, let's give a prayer, man. Y'all send y'all prayers to LeBron and Bronny James, man. 18-year-old kid to go in cardiac arrest practicing. And he was slated to be a starter on the USC team. And as a parent, to get a call, I can't imagine to get a call like that as a parent.
Right.
that your kid is just went into cardiac arrest.
Right.
Because now everything is gonna go. You ain't gonna know what to think. Ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna know how to think. Your mind is in your mind is in scramble mode. So to hear that, like, but I think he just got out of ICU, so that's good. But it just to hear that, man, it eats me up. Like I said, just especially as a parent, you know, the kid son that carries your name.
Right.
So if I'm LeBron and I'm sitting down with Bronny and Savannah,
right,
and the coach over at USC, I think it's Andy Enfield, I'm just gonna tell him, chill out. Chill out until you figure out what's going on.
right. Because that's definitely scary. To get that phone call, I can't even imagine. And then you just don't know, why did he go into cardiac arrest? Does he have some type of heart problem that, a lot of these athletes are finding out that they actually have heart issues that they didn't know that they had, or that kind of goes under the radar.
Yeah, Blue, and Ken, like Ken was, he was like, it bothered him because it's like we are parents. You know what I'm saying? When you're not a parent, it don't it resonates, but it really don't resonate with you a lot. But when you are a parent, I don't care. You drop all that shit for your kids. You drop everything for your kids. Something happened to my kids, I'm dropping everything. I don't care. I could be at home. I could be at work. Something happened. I'm out. I'm calling the boss. Look, something happened. Something's up with my kid. I'll call you when I'll call you, let you know what's up. All I know is I gotta go. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who what else to say about that. Another thing, shift gears from that. In this poll, a lot of teams. I mean, did you see that contract that Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics signed today?
No, I've been in SWAC Media all day.
Hey, you could be there, but you put it on ESPN. Bloody signed 5-year, $262 million deal for the Celtics. No, 300 mil. 300 mil. That's right. He 300 mil. 300 mil. I thought it was 260. No, it's 300.
Ridiculous amount of money that I'm sure has a whole bunch of things that need to be met in order to get that full thing.
Well, you do know when with basketball,
how much
NBA,
is guaranteed?
Everything is guaranteed in basketball.
Okay.
There's only 5 years, $304 million.
Player options the 4th year?
If they gave him a player's option, whew, I feel for Boston. Justin Herbert signed his deal, 5-year, $262.5 million deal. So he's pretty much the highest paid player in the NFL right now. Just a little bit over Jalen Hurts. No, it's not even over Jalen Hurts. A little bit over Lamar Jackson. So Man, Blue, it was good, bro. It was good to finally meet Blue and chop it up with him. And hey y'all, if y'all talk to Blue in person, like my man knows his shit. Like literally, he knows what he talking about. And when it comes to FCS, he know what he talking about when it comes down to it. I just told him, I said, I don't know about you, but bro, you was a road warrior, because I said you could go to the mountains of Montana and not bat an eye.
Right. Well, he had a nice what, hour drive today?
From to Mobile, to Birmingham. Now it's I think it's like 2.5, 3 hours.
It 2.5 hours?
From Mobile to Birmingham, it's like 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Like 2 hours.
Oh yeah. It's 3 hours. Well,
Yeah, 3.
no, is it 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours. Oh yeah, because Mobile is down there, and then Birmingham's kind of up at the top.
Yeah, and then Mobile is closer to the state line too.
I was absolutely surprised at folks who was like, "Yeah, I'm getting up in the morning and I'm coming down." Like literally, folks from Jackson, from Mobile, like you said. Then you had people from Atlanta. Like, I'm talking about, yeah, we're just gonna get up in the morning and come down. Get up in the morning. I'm jet lagged right now because I'm an hour. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock right now here, but it's like 11 o'clock at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You so used to being at home.
Yeah, and going straight to bed afterwards.
Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs got a contract extension with my boys, with my Cowboys. 5 year, $97 million, $42.3 million guaranteed. Yeah, Justin Herbert got paid too. Trey Diggs got paid too. It was just a lot of dudes that got paid today. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about it.
Hey, a man, a ball hog. Now all we need to do is sign. The Cowboys need to re-sign Zach Martin. Because he's about to sit out training camp. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Best dressed today from from SWAC Media Day.
Oh, you want to go there? You want to go look? I could pull up the some of the suits. All right, let's pull them up, and then I'm probably gonna get off soon because I am exhausted. I don't know. I guess it's just probably the anxiety of, oh my gosh, this is real, and then actually having to wake up and get. I felt like everybody was very dapper, you know. We didn't have any like worst dress types of deals. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody had on nice attire. So I'm gonna pull up a couple of for the ones that I can find. I'm gonna pull it up so we can go ahead and look at it. I thought they were all dressed well. All right. Let me share my screen. Do you see Jay White?
Yeah, Valley was crippy.
Oh, why?
They were.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Valley was true blue.
Why
Hey,
did he even say that? Good Lord. They look nice. Okay. So we have here this is Alabama State, and this is Juwan Howell, the running back for Alabama State, and then Colton Bubba Adams, the linebacker, repping for Alabama State. I thought that they looked very nice.
mm-hmm.
And then you said Valley was what?
Valley was
Let me
straight crippy.
see if I can find their outfit. They was okay, fresh to death in that all blue. I like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah.
Grambling actually looked better this year.
All right.
Then the mariachi band.
What? So yeah, that's Coach Wade. And then we didn't actually we got a chance to interview Coach Wade, but we didn't get a chance to interview the players. And that's Jamari Jones, the quarterback,
and Brandon Williams,
Williams, the defensive back. Okay. And then let me see if I can find the next group of folks out here. Who else we got that was dressed nice?
Grambling. They had on the yellow suits. It didn't look like I said, it didn't look like the mariachi band suits they wore last season.
I don't know. I thought that they looked nice, but Mr. Ford said otherwise. So
now I did like Andrew Body's his bow tie. His bow tie game was on point.
Oh, for Andrew Body.
Mm-hmm. Both of them, in fact, both of them had bow ties. The bow tie game was on point.
Yeah, like Mr. Ford had said that Andrew Body was looking like a superstar, like he's a celebrity. So let me see if I could pull up somebody else's outfit. So we just did Valley and we did Grambling.
I would say the suit that Jarvion Howard had on earlier was fire.
Oh yeah, we got a chance to interview him. Here's the pics from the main stage of. There we go. Is it on the screen so I can go to the next picture? Let me know.
Oh yeah, Coach T.C. He had on the blue and the gray
with the blue tiger tie.
Mm-hmm.
And then JD Martin and Devontae Davis had on. These are actually the suits from last year. Devontae Davis, I don't know anybody that watched the live with Tiffany Green. She was commenting on his red. I think those are red bottoms, aren't they? His red bottom
shoes. Yeah.
She said that he's got the best shoes in the SWAC for SWAC Media Day.
Then the boys from Bethune, they look nice.
How did you see the players but didn't tell them to come do an interview?
Because by the time I was coming back in, they was already going around.
Like, hey, come make sure you come to our table.
Mm-hmm. I had to make sure that Coach McKinney tell Andrew to come to our table. To remind him because they was going all around.
Oh yeah, I saw Andrew Body out in the I saw them out in the lobby where the food was, and I said, "Hey, are you guys gonna come do an interview?" And then they was like, "Hold up, wait, what school are you?" I said, "Huh? Huh? What'd you say? I'm a podcaster."
Mm.
And once they got to the table, they was like, "Hold up, she loves thee, huh?" I said, "Come on over here and just do an interview." I'm not gonna ask you any off the wall questions. Um, but this is Coach Willie Simmons and FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's Javon Morgan.
Javon Morgan, defensive back. And then this is Jeremy Musa, offensive player of the year.
Wilson look like he's still in elementary school.
Why you say that?
Because he looked like he did not play football.
He's the offensive quarterback of the year. Okay. We could also
Everybody's seen Coach Dooley, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that man's suit game right there.
we got Jarvion
Jarvion.
Howard, the running back. This is Alcorn, and then Malachi Bailey
Mm-hmm.
and Fred McNair.
Coach man there just keep basic, Coach man there, he a country boy.
What do that mean? He country.
He can just keep it basic. That was the funniest thing where you said you asked him who was QB, what's the QB one gonna be? He said myself.
Yeah, he did say that.
He said myself.
Um,
I don't know. Some of these coaches had me rolling today, dog. It was just so funny.
and this is, of course, this is Prairie View versus Texas Southern. You know, the little rivalry they have going on. So Ahmad Antoine is the running back and Keyshawn Johnson is the linebacker. We did get to interview Prairie View A&M student athletes. And then, of course, we have Andrew Body, the quarterback, and Jacob Williams, the linebacker. So they were able to, take a picture together. That's actually in that same room that we were in. Basically, there you see the sign back there. So that was right after they did the interview. And then right before we had the other student come on. And so then that's another picture of Andrew Body and Jacob Williams. And I thought that all of the young men, they look very nice. This is a picture of, well, I already showed you guys, but this is a picture of them standing up. So it's Coach Eddie Robinson and his student athletes.
See, Bubba looked like he a football player. He don't even look like he got to put shoulder pads on. Just put a helmet on him. He out there, coach.
And then, of course, this is Southern.
Dooley.
We'll get a close up of Dooley.
Oh yeah, It was clean though.
Harold Blood and Jelon Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
So Jelon Campbell, the one with the blue tie.
I think so. Yeah.
The linebacker, and then Harold Blood. Okay. Let's see what else we can find as far as the pictures. Let me see. Let's see if we can find a close up of Coach Dooley. Oh, this is just a stand up picture of Coach McNair and his student athletes.
And Jarvion don't look like he just the eyes don't say it, tell you the truth until he put them pads on, and the way that he run is it's a no-brainer. This kid he said he's going to get 2,000 yards.
If you didn't look twice, he almost camouflaged into the flow.
He really did. He really did.
It almost camouflaged into the flow. You had to look twice before, like, whoa. This is Gucci, okay? So that's why we call him the best dressed coach in the SWAC.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on.
No doubt about it. And said we just ended on a high note, on a good note, y'all. So y'all look out for that. Trying to get all this stuff set up before I roll out. Or while I'm on the road tomorrow.
Yeah, we have
Coach Simmons.
Oh yeah, the Coach Simmons interview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your Coach Simmons interview, and then of course we have a lot of content that'll be dropping in the coming days. I know for me, after I do basically the interviews for the next couple of days, then it'll be time to take a little a break or something, because the football season is less than 30 days away.
Yeah.
And we have to be prepared to because then you got to hit the ground running week in and week out.
Yeah, we're going to hit the road. We're going to be careful on the road in the morning.
Make sure you get some good rest, Doc.
I am. Y'all can see it in my face. Y'all can hear it in my voice too.
Right. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the show. Thank you guys for all of your support. Without you, the SWAC Media Day would not have been able to come to fruition. So I definitely want to repeatedly emphasize that your support to our channels and your donations definitely made this possible. If you are new here, like the stream, and then hit that subscription button, because we're going to be chopping up some of our interviews with the coaches, and we're also going to be bringing you content, pictures and content in the next coming days from SWAC Media Day.
Yep. All right, y'all. Man, look, I don't even feel like saying it tonight.
You have to stay dangerous.
Yeah, but I'm about to go sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody, from me to everybody, we holler at y'all. Y'all can see it in my eyes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good night, y'all. Peace.